Hey friends, it's your boy BigTCGFan coming at you with another video, and today we are doing the third and final deck of the 3 decks for the Ikoria Commander decks that I'm using for a fun little game that we're gonna play for you. What I did was I took the commanders that I liked the most out of the 5 different decks, and I went with them. For our third and final deck that we got is Kathril Aspect Warper. I just really find this commander very fascinating. It's a Voltron-esque style deck, but it's a lot. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play. I played the original version of it, and it was really cool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through some cards here, and you'll see I got Fertilid. These are my ramp cards for mana for this deck because they're really important that you have mana. And this is the only one of the 3 decks that we have that has green, so we're really able to take advantage of non-mana rocks. I got a couple creatures, obviously, that'll help out, but then the Soul Ring, because I think it's a requirement. All right, so let's go ahead and start looking at the cards here. What we're trying to do is get cards in the graveyard so that Kathril can do his magic. I got Altar's Reap, Ever After, because I want to reanimate, too. Here's another reanimator. Skewering Haze, I just thought this was a really, free boots, because once you get Kathril down, you need to protect him, otherwise people are just going to kill him. One of the things I like to do a lot is dual things and then blowing list, limiting my opponent's abilities. The key thing with a lot of these cards, like Exile, Permanent, whatever, 4 or greater, or Doom Blast, is all about timing. Here we have basically, I guess would be it's not the actual demonic tutor, so it's one I bought. I just thought it was freaking cool, so I bought it. Mimic Vat, so when guys die, if I really want to steal them in there. Buried Alive to help get cards in the graveyard. Another Exile. For me, a very important thing is not to just shoot your load as far as like using these kinds of cards. It's all about timing, so you want to make sure that you're precisely hitting what you need to hit that'll keep you from dying, basically, or even saving an opponent, because if you have one opponent who's like overwhelming, then sometimes you gotta save them. All right, here's the Johnny. I just really like this one Planeswalker for this deck. Here's another way to save your commander. This, if they kill it, you can just, I'll put it in my hand. Osbon Ascendancy. I just like this because it buffs guys. And then when creatures die, I get a spirit. Another tutor. Tutoring is very important. Reanimate. Lightning Greaves, important to protect him. All right, here we go. This is a bolster support, and then target creature dies, return it to its hand. This is a great way to save your creatures. This right here is a great graveyard dump. Put 10 cards in your graveyard, and then every upkeep you put something back. Obviously, someone's likely to blow it up, but for me, it's like, oh, look, I milled 10 of my cards, and then they blow it up, and I'm like, whatever. Everything's in there for Kathril to do his work, you know what I mean? So, and then here's another one of those little proxies I got. This is Vampiric Tutor. I just thought it looked so cool. I bought it. Yeah, like I said, if I'm playing someone and they actually care about proxies, then I think they're in the wrong format. Divine Reckoning, Eerie Ultimatum. This card is just insane. There's like different names. Yeah, this is EDH. It's like basically all of my permanents, Except lands if I'm running into someone who does that. Oh, here's a really great way to sack creatures. I love that. Soul of Innistrad. I would have put the other one in there. The other altar, but I don't have it. So Slippery, or maybe I do. I don't remember. Slippery Bog Bonder. I don't think I do. This guy's just great because since I'm putting everything in the graveyard, he's just going to come out with all sorts of abilities. And this is where you're going to start seeing, like, there's not a lot of green, black, white with haste. So this guy was like a must. And it's like, you text every turn and then he'll die. And it's like, whatever. Let him die, Vigilance, there you go. And then this guy is just to blow stuff up. And the one thing I really wanted to do was get guys with multiple of these keywords. So, and I love this guy anyways, because he's a great, like, don't swing at me guy. But then on top of it, there's that. And then in this guy right here, he's just, look, all that stuff you got with all those things, and I get it too. So, and then you got Death Touch with cycling. You can care about the cycling, but it's cycling is because you can, when you cycle him, you get Death Touch on another of your creatures, but it's the fact I'm putting Death Touch in the graveyard because I'm not paying 8 mana for this guy likely. Oh, and here's the big MVP. This guy is one of my personal favorites for this deck because of the fact that, I will hardcast him usually if I can, just if I don't mill him out or whatever, just because the fact that I'm putting all those things on the creature in the graveyard. So he's awesome. Here's another guy, and then look at this. When he enters the battlefield, they get to blast something too. So he's one of those guys people will be desperate to kill. And then this guy, because he does the death touch, but also he blows stuff up. Soul Flare is a fun little one. I'm not going to do too much exiling with him, but he's just there just in case I can't, like, someone keeps killing your commander or whatever, you know what I mean? Here's another one that she's just awesome. You get her into play or even in your graveyard and you're just like, oh, look at all this stuff going on. And so here you go. This is the only creatures in the number of creatures I control, flying. So same with all the others' abilities. So he can get out of hand because I got him and him out in play and he's going to get all the abilities too. Here's another death touch, but this one I like him because you can return target card from your graveyard or hand. Then opponent gets to do the same. You just pick an opponent who's hurting. Another death strike guy or double strike guy. Double strike's important. Trample. This one I would cycle. You know, just cycle. I'll get trample on. Sprinter fight. This one's cool because like all the creatures in your graveyard, so it can get out of hand. Plus that he can mill them for you. And then her I just like her flying obviously, but also just to blow up the board. So I try to look for these abilities. And then obviously Hornet Queen, a lot of fun right here. This one you would cast if you can. Reclamation Stage, this is more of my control package to deal with crap. Another one of those ones with multiple things. This guy does like basically the exact same thing as the Vampire Nighthawk, except he's a dwarf and obviously instead of Death Touch he has Vigilance, but he's awesome, Solemn Recruit, I just like, Double Strike. I think Double Strike is one of those ones I definitely want to get on him. And then Crystalline Giant, it's just he does so much going on here. So it's like, oh, he doesn't have a counter, let me add some counters. So, and then Revelark, I mean, everybody loves Revelark. All right, so now we're going to get into the lands here. A couple swamps, a couple forests, you know how it is. A couple plains. And then we start getting into the dual lands and special lands, things like that. So we're just trying to get a few things in here to make it so that he'll do his magic, get all the lands, because you want to have I like this one. And then you got my 3 lands. I got the 3 versions of the Zendikar dual lands. Like I said, they're just proxies, but it's just one of those things. If someone actually cared about them being in the game, then they probably didn't. I probably didn't want to play them anyways, because this is just a casual, fun game. I didn't want to spend $1,000 on those lands when I can use that $1,000 to buy product to share with you guys, or more Commander or more EDH stuff, just whatever. It's my focus more than buying just insane cards. So there you guys go. This concludes my video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, share if you can. We'll see you in the next video where these 3 decks will throw down. Peace out.